Hello, this is Cynthia Sue Larson of RealityShifters.com, and I'm here today to talk about being grateful, thanking you, and keeping in the present moment. So today I've got a friend with me. I think sometimes when we remember to play, we stay in the present moment a lot better. So this is my friend the dragon today, and it's a little bit silly, but basically one of the quotes that I like to remind myself of the importance of the present moment comes from Buddha. And Buddha once said, the secret of health for both mind and body is not to mourn for the past, worry about the future, or anticipate troubles, but to live in the present moment wisely and earnestly. And that's the idea. It's just all about keeping in that state of joyfulness that is really possible when we are not worried too much about comparing where we are to where we could be or where someone else is. And sometimes we think of animals as having it more together. This is not your typical kind of animal. It's a dragon today, but like I said, it's fun. So I've got some books that I wanted to talk about as well. I'd also like to thank all of you that are listening and watching this video and all of the videos on my Reality Shifter channel, because I really appreciate your loyalty, your sharing these videos with other people, your continued sense of fun and exploration, and just remembering to keep things a little bit light. And the other thing that we can keep in mind when we're thanking is that there's an important scientific basis for the benefit that we get when we are grateful. You might think if we're grateful to someone else and we're thanking them, that it's basically a way of appreciating that person. It gives both ways. And so when I say thank you to you out there watching the video, or to my little friend here, who's not really real, but has got quite a bit of personality today, then what I'm doing is I'm remembering just how happy I am to have this little friend and you, and that all of us are connected. So it gives me that sense of joyfulness that I wouldn't get otherwise. And you know it's true, because when you hear people complaining, they're usually forgetting to be grateful for what they do have. And there's always something to be grateful for. So that's today's challenge, today's opportunity. And the research I was talking about and alluding to is something that was conducted, it's a study conducted by Todd Kashdan. His name is Kashdan. If you go to my Reality Shifters website, check out the January 2010 issue, you'll see the link to that study. And basically, it was research at the George Mason University in the psychology department showing that when people are grateful, they're a lot happier. It also showed that women tend to remember to do this, or have skills to do this a little bit better than a lot of men do. So if you're one of those men that's reading this and you think, not fair, you can start being a little bit more grateful today. And I've got some books that I mentioned earlier. I'm going to bring them up here. This one is called Eyes Wide Open. I recommend this to anybody that wants to work with a spiritual guide, or somebody who's doing workshops or any kind of teaching, and they want to bring you into their organization, but you're not sure how you feel about it. This is all about cultivating discernment on your spiritual path, being a little bit careful about what you get yourself involved in, and knowing how to have a good spiritual experience. This next book is called Seekers of the Soul, and I think you'll find it as interesting as I did, because it outlines the stories of a whole bunch of people that have been on some amazing journeys of their own, learning to be shaman, intuitive readers, healers, energy workers, and it's a lot of fun. And this book is by Sherry Ward. And I've got two more. The Gentle Art of Blessing. This is profound. I find it extremely enlightening, and it's really good for people that are of the impression that we're all connected, that we're all as one. When you do something good for someone else, even if it seems like it's your enemy, this is the kind of book that you would love, because we really don't have enemies. We just have people who probably don't know us yet. And this is called The Gentle Art of Blessing, a simple practice that will transform you and your world. And no kidding, does it ever. Pierre Pradervand is the author, and he describes some situations when he was in a tight spot, but made the best of it by blessing everyone. And last but certainly not least, I've got here something called The Physics of Miracles, and it's by author Richard Bartlett. And I think a lot of you might know him from Matrix Energetics. I'll hold this book up here. And this book is phenomenal. If you know Matrix Energetics, then you already know what you might be expecting here. And sure enough, it doesn't disappoint. The subtitle is Tapping into the Field of Consciousness Potential. I like to think of this book as having to do with touching the points that need healing, just a couple of them, in any situation, whether it's physical. You can even do this remotely if you're into energy work, and then bringing in that oneness, that sense of that blessing kind of concept we were just talking about. That's it in a nutshell, but let Richard take you on this journey, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So that's it for this time, but thank you very much for listening. Thank you for saying hello to my friend here, and I look forward to seeing you next month. Hope you have a fantastic year at the beginning of 2010, and I'm just going to make a little note here. The books that I review, I do get them as complimentary review copies. I'm required to say that, so pretty much all the books that I've been reviewing are that way. But I don't review everything I receive. I'm sharing with you the best of the best, the ones that I love the most. So until next time, just keep asking, how good can it get? Take care.